For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Then the righteous will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and gave you drink? And when did we see you a stranger and welcomed you, or naked and clothed you? And when did we see you sick or in prison and visited you? And the king will answer them, Truly, I say to you, as you did to one of the least of these, my brothers, you did it to me. In this Bible passage, Jesus tells us that we need to welcome everybody into God's loving family. We are to live united as a community, as brothers and sisters.
Spirit-filled members of family and community. We are all called to welcome everyone to be a part of God's family as one. We are inviting to others to come together as a community that builds each other up. Here in St. Joe, we had the amazing opportunity to feel welcomed as we were new. And now, what we learned we are able to teach. As new students come in, we allow them to feel a part of our close-knit community through different clubs and teams. Our welcoming spirits do not end there. We learn to spread our spirit into our outside community and live out the joy of service. United, we are one voice that make up a family under God.
I remember when I came to the United States in August last year, it was a pretty frightening experience for me at first, because I did not know anyone here. However, when I came to St. Joseph Academy, everybody was so kind, it made me really happy. I joined the varsity soccer team and I made good friends while playing my favorite sport. We were able to be the first to win the district championship in the history of St. Joseph Academy, and we made it to the state championships semi-final. I personally appreciate the community involvement since we made it that far thanks to their support. Now I feel like we are a family.
When I was younger, I used to move around a lot, but moving around in the middle of high school seemed like a challenge to me when, I was first introduced to it. So when I first walked on campus that first day, I was scared out of my mind. Like, I was terrified. And I even approached this random group of girls and I was like, "Are you guys sophomores?" And they were like, "No, we're seniors." And they just kind of looked at me and I looked at them and I just kind of walked away. Yeah, it was really challenging. The theater program, though, really did help me adjust into, becoming a part of the family, the SJA community. The way I was introduced to theater was there was this girl in my second period English class by the name of Denise Palacios, who ended up being my best friend, who was like, "Hey, we're going to do this audition thing after school for a play. I was wondering if you wanted to join." And I was like, "I'll think about it, yeah." And then in sixth period, this boy that I had met once or twice was talking about auditions. I was like, "Hey, what are those about? Tell me more." And he told me about them, and he was like, "You should come, you should totally join us." And so I did. I auditioned, and I got a part, which was really surprising to me. I thought maybe I could be like a tree at most, but I actually had speaking lines, and it was crazy. So every day we'd go to, after school, we'd go and we'd rehearse. And they would all have inside jokes, and I just kind of, sat there for a little bit, and then, Natalia and Denise, they started, explaining the inside jokes to me, and then we all started making inside jokes where I was, included, and that's kind of how I became part of the family. I mean, that's how I felt like I had officially been inducted into the SJA community.
An eye-opening experience that allowed me to not only experience community with my classmates, but also I felt welcomed by the community that we went to go help. It was Moore, Oklahoma, a mission trip. When we would go to the sites, the people that we were helping would welcome us. They would bring us food every 5 minutes or so to just show us how grateful they were for our help. They would tell us their stories while we were helping them clean their houses. They would ask us how we are. We would take pictures with them. And what surprised me the most was that in the midst of all the destruction, there was love and faith in that community. When we would go into the sites, the walls would be written, "God loves more, we are more strong." It was just a very joyful, full of faith atmosphere to be in. At night, the sense of community would continue with Mexican Olympics, which the competition got sometimes very heated, our small group discussions, which we would open up even though we had just met them a week before. That's how close we grew as a community. We would sing under the stars, under the sky with live music in unison, and it was the most beautiful thing ever. That's when I felt I belonged. That's when I felt God's presence there with us.
St. Joseph Academy left a mark in the person I am because it helped me create a habit of doing good things and following St. Martin Champagne's marks of a Marist student. Building a community doesn't necessarily mean only having people that believe in what you believe, but St. Joseph Academy helped us see that we can help everyone and invite everyone to help as well. And I think as an alumni, I've been able to do that because of what St. Joe has taught me, because the act of doing good and the act of being helpful to other people starts there. It starts at St. Joe, and it has helped me continue it throughout my life now that I'm not in St. Joe, with projects like To and From and helping kids from India that I might not even know, but I know that they're still part of our community, of our world, and hopefully being able to help other students, other kids in the future through this project of selling products and using 50% of the profit to help their education.
My journey of helping people feel welcomed into God's family continues through service and hopes of them seeing Christ through me.
I plan to continue serving my community because I want to be a doctor. And there's programs like Doctors Without Borders that you can help communities that don't have access to medicine and at the same time practice the medicine that I want to fulfill. That's how I want to
Ways
continue.
that I can use this mark after I graduate is that one thing is to welcome people to say in your school, but to welcome people all over your community. So by going to service, by doing community service in other places and welcoming not only people from your community and your beliefs, but welcoming everybody and doing just acts of kindness that show that we are all welcomed into his family and that God loves all of us.
Then the righteous will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and gave you drink? And when did we see you a stranger and welcomed you, or naked and clothed you? And when did we see you sick or in prison and visited you? And the king will answer them, Truly I say to you, as you did to one of the least of these, my brothers, you did it to me.